We're now joined by Frankie Corrado and Craig Button. So, guys, OEL will miss some time. Brandon Carlo tweaked something. These updates are grim for a Leafs team already hurt by injuries. Frankie, should these injuries force Brad Treliving now to make a trade?
Well, yeah, but how much artillery do you have to make a trade, and how much of an impact player can you bring in? It feels like they're going to have to go down the same route as the one they went down when they brought in Troy Stecher. Doesn't necessarily have to be a waiver pickup, but they're going to have to find some significant value on a player who isn't necessarily a marquee guy on our trade bait board, and try and see if that's a guy that you can bring in and help your team right now. The good thing about the Toronto Maple Leafs is they're playing well. Goaltending has been well. Austin Matthews is playing the best hockey that we've seen all season. So you just need someone who can buy you a little bit of time here. And Oliver Ekman-Larsson has been one of the best players on Toronto all season long. That's going to be the one that hurts the most. They don't have the weaponry to go out and make a significant deal. They're going to have to find some value.
Yeah, Frankie, I couldn't agree with you more with respect to you got to find a way to buy yourself the time. The benefit for the Toronto Maple Leafs with these injuries is you have the Olympic break for these players to get back healthy and get back playing. So you're dealing with a small time frame and a number of games where you just have to manage it. The goaltending has been excellent. And unless you want to go start talking about trading Easton Cowan, you got to go and do exactly what Frankie said. Try to find an area. You got to go to the dollar store. You're not going to be able to shop on Fifth Avenue in New York City. You got to go find value in different areas of the league. And the value is out there. It can be found. I'll give you a great example. And Frankie, you were right. You see this every night when you cover the Canadiens. Alexander Carrier. That was a way for that team to really measurably improve. They gave up Justin Barron. That type of a move is something that could really benefit the Toronto Maple Leafs. And not just for the short term, but potentially for the long term. Those are where Brad Treliving has to look to, because he's not looking to trade Easton Cowan.
No, definitely not. So let's take a look at what's going to be on the market, perhaps. The latest edition of TSN's trade bait board was released today. 8 defensemen are on the list, guys, including Dougie Hamilton and Luke Schenn. Here's the full group of D-men on the list. Frankie, do any names here stand out as good fits for the Leafs?
There's a couple that really excite me. I'm just not sure you're going to be able to get them. A guy like Justin Falk, who's a veteran player, right shot defenseman, can move the puck, is skating better than he has recently. Like, that's a guy who's an exciting player. It just depends. What's the cost going to be? We know St. Louis has had a hard time this season. Another player that would make a lot of sense, just can you afford him, is Brett Kulak. We've seen what he's been able to do with the Edmonton Oilers, deep in playoff runs, good skater, can move the puck, get up in the play. I'm thinking of Toronto, and I'm thinking, well, you don't want too many duplicates of what you already have, and they're moving the puck better than they were at the start of the season, but they could still stand to improve in that area. Those are two guys that make sense based on the games that they play, but at the same time, like, I'm just not sure you can afford to part with players and assets to bring in those types of players at this moment.
One thing I learned from Daryl Sutter, and I learned a lot of things from Daryl Sutter, was he said, if you have a chance to improve, even if it's a little bit, that's an improvement. And we all have an ideal of what we'd like to have on your blue line. And Frankie, make a good point. Like, you know, how much can you improve? And you're looking to sometimes not make that big leap, but just make that little leap that can strengthen your group. Justin Falk, to me, would make incredible sense. Right shot defenseman, offensive type. Those two qualities are something the Toronto Maple Leafs can benefit from. He's got a year left on his contract after this one. And so, you know, you might be able to look at massaging something to get something done. Brett Kulak is a versatile player. He can play the left side. He can play the right side. He can scale up. He can scale down. He can kill penalties. I'm not so sure where the Pittsburgh Penguins find themselves that he would be available. So, you know, the pickings are slim with respect to what the Toronto Maple Leafs could look at on that trade board. But if I were Brad Treliving, I would try to examine what it would take to get Justin Falk. It would help now, and it would help next year as well.
Yeah, they definitely need help right now. The NHL trade deadline, it isn't until March 6th, however. But, you know, with all these injuries the Leafs do have, you think Treliving may need to act much sooner than that to keep the Leafs in the hunt for a playoff spot.